In the 4 years I've been working out, I put on 103 pounds natural. And I've done it as a high school student, a university student, a full-time worker, and this past year, a business owner. In this video, I'm breaking down how I eat and train as a pro bodybuilder while working every hour of the day without losing my sanity. If you've ever felt like you can't get jacked because your business takes all your time, this video is for you. All right, getting jacked as a business owner. This is my honest, very painful experience and some struggles that I had and how I overcame them. So in this video, we're gonna talk about why getting jacked actually helps you in business, the 3 legs of the fitness bar stool and why you need all 3 at once to see gains, when to sacrifice your meals for your work and when to sacrifice your work for your meals, the easiest, cheapest meals I eat for deep work days, how I made crazy gains while only working out 2 hours a week, how I fit getting jacked into my full business day and an actual day in the life of what it looks like for me to go after this goal. And at the end, everything we talked about is going to be consolidated in a schedule that works for you and your specific goal. Let's rock. Quick summary about me personally. I was the skinniest kid in the history of the world, and so I started working out to change that. 4 years later, I gained 103 pounds, still drug-free, still lean. I struggled really badly with balancing my fitness with my school and my work because I didn't really know how to work hard at either of them. Then when I got out of that and I started the incredible bulk, that was a whole new dragon that I had to slay, and I really struggled with balancing both together. Eventually solved both. Here is my transformation so far. At 16 years old, 122 pounds, 17, 18, now getting up to 19, I'm currently 20 years old. And so that is my transformation thus far, just to prove to you that I'm a real person that exists. Getting jacked, to me, is like a bar stool. You have 3 legs: training, nutrition, and consistency. And with these 3 legs and with this bar stool, you sit on top of it. If you remove a leg, if you lose a leg, or if a leg gets broken, you stop doing one of these things, bar stool topples over, it falls, and so do you. So it doesn't matter which one you stop doing. Training, eating, and consistency with both must be done together. They must be done in conjunction with one another. So how do we nail all 3? We're gonna start with the hardest one, which is food. I personally have a really low appetite and I'm probably the slowest eater you've ever seen. And so if I wanted to build muscle to get stronger, I needed to get my time management right. It wasn't a nice to have. This had to be done correctly. I've tried to-do lists, forgive my crappy handwriting, grounding, cold baths. That's actually me eating a meal in the cold bath. None of them worked. And so I realized it was about the actions that I take every single day. Not planning to take action, not thinking it through, not envisioning my success before I start. Just doing the things that actually lead to gains. Now, what are those things? There's 3 of them. Eating all of your meals, training hard, getting to bed on time. And as a business owner, these 2 are the tough ones that you have to nail. I'm gonna tell you some stuff you already know. You know that if you wanna get bigger, if you wanna build muscle and get stronger, you know you have to hit a calorie surplus every day. You also know that you have to eat 1 gram protein per pound of body weight. You also know that you probably have to work out, right? We have to go to the gym and do exercise. And while we're there, we have to push ourselves. You know that you have to sleep enough, probably 7 to 9 hours for most people. You can't allow tiny inconveniences to break you and cause you stress. And you have to keep all your focus on the business. We are business owners doing fitness, not fitness people who are running a business. And finally, you have to manage your time well enough to hit both goals. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be a robot, but you have to do the right things enough times, well enough, over time, to see results. So this video is not how do I track my calories, how do I go to the gym? It's not that. This video factors in that you already know what those things are and that you are a business owner who is trying to get in shape, build muscle, get stronger, but has trouble balancing both. And those kind of people are who I'm making this video for. Now, if you want me to make basic breakdowns on the channel, I can totally do that. It's just these are hyper-specific problems that I faced and there's not really a solution for on the internet yet. That's what this video is. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do tonight and you can do the same if you want. At night, before I go to bed every single night, I set an alarm for when I plan to eat my meals tomorrow. And when those alarms ring at those times tomorrow, I eat and I try to limit the amount of exceptions that I make. So if I'm in a public setting like a meeting or one-on-one call, that alarm is on silent and vibrate because I don't need my old motorcycle horn blaring off in the middle of a call. And so the point of this alarm is to disrupt you. That is the goal. It is to distract you, prevent you from doing anything else but eating. Because you are the sole proprietor of your fitness. And so there's no outside funding, there's no third party, there's no partner. It is just you bootstrapping this thing. And so if you're building muscle, if that's something that matters to you, sometimes you're gonna have to eat when it's not conventional. And I've personally failed at this literally thousands of times, so I can tell you exactly how it's gonna go. You're in the flow, the work feels super smooth, you're getting a lot of things done, and you know it's time to eat. You look in the corner of your computer or you check the time on your phone and you're like, shoot, it's noon, I should probably eat. But then you push the meal back because you're like, hey, you know what? I'm in the flow, let me keep working real quick. You get more work done. This is correct. You do get more work done, but suddenly it's 2 p.m. and you were supposed to eat at 12:30. Now that's not a huge deal, but now the rest of your meals, and if it's early in the afternoon, that's when most people start, pushing back meals, you'll probably have 2 to 3 meals left in the day for you to eat. And so the rest of those meals are now delayed also by 90 minutes. From here, you only have 2 options because you still have to eat all the food. Option 1, you eat each meal 90 minutes later. And so you bend over and you let the schedule have its way with you. And then you go to bed 90 minutes later than you usually would. So, not ideal. The second option is to cram the meals together. So you shorten the time in between each meal. And you might get to bed on time, or you might be eating super late. But either way, you're going to have really bad digestion because your body does need time to process each meal. And so you do need those 2-3 hour breaks in between your meals. Both of these options suck. None of them are good. And so typically cramming is the better choice out of the two if you had to pick. But now you have to eat back-to-back meals, and that is brutal. This is where a lot of guys skip those meals because they say, shoot, this is really tough. I could be working. I don't feel like eating. I'll just skip a meal or two for today. Then they skip gains because they don't do that just for one day. It's typically multiple times stretched out over years. And now they're missing, 30-40% of the results they could have got. To me, fitness and business are shockingly similar. You have to market, you have to sell, you have to deliver, you have to make sure customers are happy. In fitness, you have to eat well, train, get to bed at a reasonable hour. They're simple to understand. The hardness comes from learning about these things, doing a crap ton of reps, sticking with it, not losing enthusiasm for years, and not getting distracted, not hopping to a new opportunity. So we better make sure that our meals don't distract us from our work. We want these low maintenance meals to check off at least one of these 7 boxes. Not all of them, just one. We'd like them to be easy to chew, fast to swallow, something that doesn't smell bad or make a lot of noise, something that doesn't inconvenience other people. We like them to be portable or concealable, right? You're not gonna bring your chicken Alfredo into a one-on-one call. And obviously we don't wanna break the bank. So some examples for each. A meal that's been super easy to chew. Almost every day I do a protein granola parfait. So what does that look like? You have vanilla yogurt, you have granola, you have some bananas or frozen fruit, and then a scoop of protein powder. That's 600 to 800 calories right there. You can easily get 40 to 50 grams of protein with this. It's not like a tough steak that you have to battle with. It's easy to chew. Something that's fast to swallow, any high calorie shake ever. So an example, you could have 2 cups of milk, some peanut butter, some oats, some olive or avocado oil for healthy fats. You could have banana, frozen fruit, protein powder, honey, chia seeds. There's so many things that you can add into a protein shake. You can condense it into a tiny little bottle like this, carry it around, and then you can down it in under 2 minutes. For meals that don't smell bad, I just have a list of things that I avoid personally. Eggs, fish, most sauces, hot foods, if it's trapped in a container, it aromatizes much stronger, and pretty much any kind of cheese. And these foods all work for putting on muscle mass. I'm just talking in the specific context that they all stink. Foods that don't make noise, right? Most foods don't make noise when you eat them or chew them, but anything that doesn't make a lot of noise when you're chewing it, obviously. Something I tend to avoid is metal utensils in a glass container because we don't want it clanging around. Just use plastic utensils or plastic container. And something with crinkly wrapping. If you have to mess around with the wrapping, pretty annoying. Other people don't want to deal with it and you wouldn't want to deal with it either. Something that's portable, the high calorie shakes, this is like a godsend. Liquid calories is the way to go. But if you want other ideas, I have chocolate milk, protein bars, the yogurt parfait again, trail mix, cashews. There's 4,300 calories in a 750 gram bag of cashews. They're loaded with calories. And a meat sandwich. I always love ham sandwiches personally, so that's what I do. Something that's concealable. I haven't found multiple options that work. I've only found one that works every single time, and that is a high calorie shake in an opaque mug. So if you look at something like this, you can see the liquid moving around in this. Not ideal. And so if you're meeting your calls, whatever, they prohibit you eating food, or you're frowned upon for eating food during that time, grab a Yeti mug. Nobody can see through it. Everyone thinks you're drinking water or coffee, but it's really a 1,200 calorie protein shake. Oh yeah, and everything I just listed can be bought or made for under $5. So when you eat your meals on time and the meals that you do eat are easy to chew, fast to swallow, don't stink, all that stuff, you will get bigger, stronger, not get fat on time without it affecting your business. So let's talk about stress, because being in business is a marathon against time, attention, and prioritization. And this is hard. Being consistent everywhere means that you will be different from other people. And so you might get teased for, eating more food than you typically would, or eating at specific times. People might make fun of you, or they might be mad at you for missing out on, quote, fun opportunities. But you're not new to this. When you started your company, you felt the exact same way. This is just a different playing field. And so you stress to get things done. You stress to make ends meet. Building a stronger body does help with that. But you can't stress your way out of a weak body into a strong one, right? It's not going to work the same way as it does in business. So you also cannot get jacked every single minute of the day. Like, I can make this content, I can, deliver finished plans for clients, do all this stuff, and I'm getting better at that stuff the more time I spend on it. But you can't, quote, spend time on getting jacked. You just have to do the actions. And so as long as you're doing these 3 core actions every day for years, you will see those wins progress. The point of this fitness game is for you to keep playing, right? You don't get in shape, you don't build muscle, get stronger, and then say, I'm done. I've accomplished, I've won, I'm never going to the gym again, I'm never eating well again. Not how it works. You have to keep going. But that doesn't mean that when you keep going, you have to keep your foot on the gas forever. So this is one of my favorite analogies ever to combat that. Getting jacked is like getting on an elevator. It doesn't matter what goal or what floor in this case that you want to get to. You still have to ride the same elevator as everyone else. And so you start by getting in the elevator already knowing where you want to go. You already know where your goal is. You hit the button, the floor that you want to get to, and you wait. Some people choose a higher floor than you, and some people only want to go up to a lower floor than you. So there's always going to be someone who's trying to achieve more, someone who's going to try to achieve less. But you're still riding the same elevator, and we still need to all do the same things. Once you get to your floor, you can stay there as long as you like, or you can go to a floor above you or one that's below you. Either way, the further the new floor is from you now, the longer you wait. So how do we get to our floor as fast as we can? I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do this. And so most guys work out 5 to 6 days a week for 2+ hours at a time, and they don't recover from any of it. They may see some results, but they're super inefficient with their time and habits. And so their results reflect that. We've all seen the entrepreneur who does day trading, who does coaching, he's drop ships, he does white label SaaS, he does SEO stuff. And so he has all these different businesses, but all of them are run either poorly or very mediocre at best. And so typically that kind of person has one thing that they really like doing or that generates most of their income. And so if they just let go of the rest and focus on the one thing that actually drives the most progress, they will skyrocket that thing to the moon rather than running all these other things so. And this is perfect for us because it ties into fitness so well. And so for 9 months straight, I worked out for only 2 hours a week and gained 26.6 pounds using high intensity training. Now, what is high intensity training? I already have a video about this on the channel, so I'll make it quick. We have 1 hard set to failure per exercise, 2 to 4 exercises per muscle group, 2 to 3 muscle groups per workout, and we're doing 1 workout every 48 to 72 hours. Now, what does a set to failure actually look like, and what does it mean? It means you cannot do another rep even if you tried. Even if I gave you all the money in the world, using good form, you cannot complete another rep. And so your last rep should look something like this. So you can see my face squirming pretty hard, a lot of effort, tired, exhausted, and I couldn't do another one even if I tried. I'm done. So do 1 set of that kind of intensity per exercise. And so you'll do 2 to 4 exercises per muscle group. So if you're training chest, that would be doing a bench press, an incline press, and then a fly. That's 3 exercises, good enough. 2 to 4 exercises per muscle group. Then you're gonna train 2 to 3 muscle groups per workout. So in 1 workout, you might be doing your chest and your triceps. That's 2 to 3 muscles. Then 1 workout every 2 to 3 days. And so it's not like you're hitting the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, taking Thursday off. It's we work out, we take 1 or 2 days off, and then we go back to the gym. And so 1 week, Tuesday might be your arm day. The next week, it might be your leg day. So it changes. These workouts are rarely longer than an hour. You're not doing a bunch of sets. You only need really 2 to 3 of these workouts a week to make crazy gains. But when you go to the gym, the few times that you go to the gym per week, you need to push yourself hard. That's a requirement. And you've already shown that you've mentally stressed in order to improve in business. But at the gym, you will physically stress. And so when you come home, you'll have to rest. That rhymed. You'll know that sleeping is really important because you've pulled all-nighters and you didn't feel that good. So getting to bed on time, is the single greatest thing that you can do. I tried everything in the book to get me better sleep, and I have a bunch of them that actually worked, and so I compiled them into a checklist. This checklist has everything from beliefs I had to create and ones that I had to crush to let go of, things that I actually did to my body, things I did to my room, and my step-by-step system as to how I get to bed on time every single night. laid out in a checklist. I'll leave it on the link in the description. Here's how I fit all this in while working 10 hours a day. So I personally eat 5 meals a day spaced out by every 3 hours. You might be eating 3 meals, 4 meals. You could still apply all this stuff to your own life. I meal prep 14 meals every Sunday. And so those are 2 out of my 5 meals every single day for a week. I already know what I'm eating. It's meal prep. It's packaged up. It's all good to go. And that takes me about 2 to 2.5 hours. Like I said, I'm a very slow eater. So it takes me around 20 to 35 minutes to eat per meal. And I will also have my low maintenance meals. So those boxes that we checked earlier, I'll have 2 out of those 5 meals will be low maintenance meals. So those are 4 out of my 5 meals. 2 are meal prep, 2 are low maintenance. And the low maintenance ones take me around 5 to 15 minutes to make and eat. And so when I train, I take about 2.5 hours at the gym, 3 days a week. Now, I personally like to talk to people when I'm at the gym. I work alone at home all day. I don't really see too many people. But if you're a guy and when you're at the gym, you don't really care about having those social connections, just go train. You can get your workout done in under an hour. So 4 out of these 7 days a week, I spend 2 hours per day on fitness. And so that's 3 30-minute meals that take me to eat, and then 2 15-ish minute meals. Those are my low maintenance meals. And so the other days that I train, the other 3 days typically, I spend 4 hours per day on fitness, which to me, not too bad considering I'm going for this big fitness goal. I also plan to compete in bodybuilding, and so I eat with the goal of growing. If your goal isn't to get huge, if it's not to get, build a ton of muscle, but build a little bit of muscle, you will not have to spend as much time as me eating. And so if you want to see what this extreme end of the spectrum looks like for me in real life, this is what my typical day looks like. So I wake up between 6:45 and 7:30 a.m. I try to wake up without an alarm, but if I go to bed late, then I'm going to need an alarm to get me up between these times. I eat meal 1 right away. I don't delay it. I try to get it down as soon as I possibly can. And then I go right to work. So I'm pretty much working from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. uninterrupted, without meals, without anything else, just the work. And then I have meal 2, 11:15 to 11:45. This would typically be my meal prep or like a regular meal. Then I work from 12 to 3. Then meal 3 is 3:30 to 3:50. This is one of my low maintenance meals. And then I'll work from 4 to 6, eat from 6:15 to 6:30. Then my last work session is 7 to 8:30 just to round out the tasks for the day. And then the last meal is at 9 p.m. And then I go to bed between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Now you'll notice that there's not really many opportunities for me to do other things. And so living like this, it's probably not healthy, but I'm doing it just to get this project that I'm building off the launch pad. And so I'm also young, and I think I legitimately got a shot in bodybuilding. So I'm not at my best yet. I'm not at my peak. And so I don't know if I'm doing enough. So I do as much as I possibly can during the day to gain the traction. That means there's less time for me to do other things. Do you have to live the same life? If you just want to build muscle and get stronger and you have no desire to compete or take this to the moon, no. Not at all. You won't have to eat as much as me or pay as close attention to recovery and training. I'm super hyper specific, focused on these things. If you just eat your meals, train hard, and get to bed on time every single day, you will see those wins compound on each other. I promise. Your weight will go up, you will stay lean, you will get stronger. And all that compounded over years gets you, quote, in really good shape. And so when somebody calls you jacked or says he's really in good shape, it really means that they eat all their meals, train hard, and get to bed on time most days for an extended period of time without giving up. In fact, I firmly believe that business and fitness complement each other, which is really rare considering if someone goes for 2 goals at once, it typically means that they're only going to reach one of those goals or fail at both. And so it's really rare to see a combo like fitness and business work together and complement each other. But it takes effort to eat the meals. It takes effort to push yourself at the gym. So if you're in your day-to-day and it feels hard, it feels like you're always fighting to get the food in while progressing everywhere else in your life, I get it. It's tough. So what can we do right now to guarantee that the steps you are taking are the right ones that propel you forward? First, look at your day. Where do you typically lose focus? Do you lose focus 15 minutes in, 30 minutes into your work, 3 hours into your work? Where do you typically drop off? And so when you notice your output, your ability to get things done, when you notice that starts to drop hard, that's when you could eat. That's a perfect window for you to eat, recharge, get back into it. When you eat, make sure that the meals are easy to get down. You can meal prep if you'd like. Like I said, I set an alarm for all of my meals. It works great, and I do the silent and vibrate if I'm in public. And when I train, I keep it short with high intensity training. If you feel you need to socialize at the gym or outside, do that. This is just what I do personally. And when I come home and I'm getting ready for bed, I do at least one of the things from my sleep checklist every single night. So you'll see how all these golden BBs make up for one big silver bullet of getting jacked. And so you can't just eat or meal prep. You can't just work out. You can't just be consistent, because what are you being consistent with? You have to do all of these things at the same time. The reason I say this is because when you get into business, you can't just learn sales, right? There's a bunch of small little skills that you have to learn the big meta skill. And then you have to learn 5 or 6 of those meta skills to have a business. So if you're a skinny guy and you want to get into the gym, or you've already been to the gym, but you've struggled seeing progress, I get it. I was right there. So it is about those 100 golden BBs. There's not one magic fix that solves everything. And that's why I started the Incredible Bulk. So you can skip the first few years of trial and error and get straight to making gains without wasting the money on groceries, no long cooking sessions or plateaus in the gym, just real efficient progress from day one. If you want everything already implemented for you, you can go to theincrediblebulk.ca or hit the first link in my description and apply. And after all that, sometimes I just get really flustered. So if I notice that I'm constantly losing focus, I just walk away. But if I'm tired or I'm upset, I'm just not in the mood to work, I usually power through it. So if your time is managed well and you're doing all the right things, you can do business and fitness at the same time and do great at both. It only gets tough when you want more results. So you do less everywhere else in your life and you sacrifice more. But if you're just meal prepping, eating easy meals, training with high intensity, and sleeping well, you're gonna crush it. Getting jacked as a business owner can be tough. You have to be really particular with where you put your time, especially if you're trying to scale both of these goals to the moon. And so I hope this video at least helped with some of that. If you save more time, money, efficiency, you're saving your mental bandwidth, you're not becoming insane going for both these goals at once. I hope this video made it just a little bit easier. And if you want everything that we mentioned in this video implemented directly into your life right now, you can go to theincrediblebulk.ca or hit the first link in the description, like I said, and apply for one-on-one coaching. Everything is tailored to your life, so there's no learning curve, there's no trial and error, no mess ups, no mistakes, and you just see progress from day one. Guys, I've been George Tressiter, and I make these videos because I don't think there's enough coverage on what the day-to-day actually looks like for people who are trying to get in their best shape. And I feel like there's a lot of scientific knowledge out there that everybody already knows, but there's no practical application as to how that fits into your life. And so I look to be hopefully that person for the skinnier guys who want to build muscle. And so I hope that this video was useful to you as a business owner who's trying to get jacked. I promise you are capable of doing it. And if not, hit me up. So I'll check in with you guys next time, and peace. Bye.